Hi everyone and welcome to Fun Augie's cooking segment. In this video we're going to see how to make creamy Malai Kofta with tangy honey roasted cauliflower. It's an amazing dish and I think you'll enjoy it. So now let's get on with the video. There are three components to this incredible dish. First we'll make the creamy curry, then the crispy koftas, followed by the tangy cauliflower roast. So we'll start with them one by one. To get started on the curry, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil to a pan on medium to high heat and wait till it's hot. Once the oil is hot, we can then add our mixed spices. So here I'm using cumin, peppercorns, cardamom, cloves, cinnamon and bay leaves. We can now add 7 cloves of garlic, a small thumb-sized piece of ginger and 2 to 3 green chilies and saute well. Once the spices have toasted, we can add 2 large onions that have been thinly sliced and stir until the onions are golden brown. We can now add in the spices, so that includes 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, half of a teaspoon of chili powder, a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar and about 1 teaspoon of salt, but you can add more to taste. Then saute the spices for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next we can add in 2 tablespoons of raw cashews and toast for about 2 minutes. Once everything has toasted well, I'm going to add in 4 medium-sized tomatoes that have been finely chopped and cook until the tomato skins start to peel away. The tomatoes have softened and become very tender. So now we're going to turn off the stove, cool this mixture down and we can blend it into a fine paste. Now it's time to finish off the curry. So I have a tablespoon of oil heating up in this pan. I'm going to add the paste that we grinded to it. I'm going to follow it up with about half of a cup of milk. You can also use cream, full cream, and if you use milk like I'm doing here, you might want to use a little bit less water. Now I'm going to stir this and let it come to a boil and then we can add our water. So the curry started boiling. We're going to add in the water, 2 teaspoons of dried fenugreek leaves and 1 tablespoon of chopped coriander leaves. We'll be using more for garnish though. And just stir it and boil it for about 5 minutes and then it's ready. The curry has now boiled for 5 minutes. I'm going to finish it off with some freshly squeezed lemon juice. Let us start making our kofta. So for that I have 4 medium-sized potatoes that were boiled and peeled and mashed. Then 200 grams of paneer, to which I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of kasuri methi, 1 teaspoon of pepper powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, but you can adjust as per taste, and finally about 1 tablespoon of chopped up coriander, and you want to mix it and knead it until it's a nice dough. We can now add 2 to 3 tablespoons of corn flour, knead the dough and we can form the balls with it. Once you've made your kofta balls, you want to roll them in some more corn flour just to form a dusting and then set them aside to deep fry later. These are the dusted kofta balls. Now we're ready to deep fry them. I've added some oil in a pan and once it's heated, we can gently add our kofta balls into the oil Add them in batches and stir frequently until golden brown. And don't forget to fry them in a low to medium flame. These are the fried kofta balls. They look beautifully golden brown. So I'm just going to show you the consistency of them. Now you can enjoy these as a snack as well with some sauce, and it'll be really delicious. We can now get started on our side called cauliflower dish. For that, I've just boiled some water, and now we're going to add half of a teaspoon of turmeric powder to the water, followed by a small head of cauliflower cut into little florets. And you want to boil for about 5 minutes, and then we can drain it. Once the cauliflower has been drained, we're going to make a marinade for it. So I've got 1 teaspoon of amchur powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, and 1 teaspoon of pepper, followed by some honey, about a teaspoon's worth, as well as salt to taste, and mix it and marinate for up to half an hour to an hour. I'm also going to add up to 1 tablespoon of oil, mix it and marinate for 30 minutes to an hour. To a frying pan on medium-high heat, I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. You don't need much. And then I'm going to add the cauliflower, which was marinated earlier. And since the cauliflower is already cooked, you just need to warm it up until it gets crispy. The cauliflower is crispy. We can now remove it from the heat and enjoy. If you're going to serve this dish with rotis or naan, I've got a little tip. You can brush this herby marinade over top of your roti or naan and to give it some extra flavor. So to make it, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil, followed by 3 freshly chopped garlic cloves and about a teaspoon of kasuri methi, followed by about half of a teaspoon of salt. Then just give it a mix, and when you brush this over your naan, it's going to give it some nice extra flavor. It's going to be delicious. So when you're making your roti or naan or paratha in my case, you just want to spread this oil over top of it, and then you can fry it to give it some extra flavor. It's really going to jazz up this meal. So this is our Malai Kofta with honey roasted cauliflower dish. It's incredibly delicious. You can see that the kofta balls are nice and soft, the gravy is super creamy, and the sweet tanginess of the cauliflower really contrasts with the dish. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, it always helps to give a like and your feedback, and we also want to know what other recipes you want us to make. Thank you and bye.